Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome for the first time if you're new. We do non-pop country music, and I've got a gift request from John O'Dowd, who's right here in Jersey, half hour, 45 minutes from me, and Jill Hollier. If it wasn't for the Heartache, I have not reacted to Jill before. I hadn't even heard of her. John, thank you for the gift and the request. And John said that Jill was a good friend of Clint Eastwood's, and Clint featured her music in several of his films in the 1980s. Fascinating. So let's find out what we have here. What's that song? It's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. No. It's not Fleetwood Mac. It's, I don't know who that is. Anyway, let's see what Jill has for us and why Clint featured her in his flicks. Oh, that's fun.
There's a faded place on the wall that measures 8 by 10, where your picture used to be.
Well, this is good.
And your coat that hung in the hall, it just up and went the night that you walked down on me. When you took your love away, you took everything.
Why'd he leave, though?
But your memory, if it wasn't for the heartache, I wouldn't know you'd been here. How much can a heart take? I wouldn't know if it wasn't for the heartache you left behind. I wouldn't know.
I love the bass. All right, some of you guys have heard this song. I know it. And I love seeing that in the comments. I was like, oh, I haven't heard this in forever and yada, yada, yada. But I loved her. I love this. I remember it. I love seeing those little, those posts in the comments. Your sort of snippets of life coming through.
I found those letters you left.
I love her
Read
voice.
'em one last time, threw 'em all away. And that bottle of wine we had kept for some special night got poured out today. There is nothing in this house to remind me now of the love we made. If it wasn't for the heartache,
That lingers, man.
I wouldn't know you'd been here. How much can a heart take? I wouldn't know if it wasn't for the heartache you left behind. I wouldn't know you'd been mine. If it wasn't for the heartache you left behind, I wouldn't know you'd been mine.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I don't know what she did with her career. I hadn't even heard of her. Well, I didn't grow up on country, so if she was exclusively country, I wouldn't have heard of her. But I like how it started with the faded 8 by 10, like the paint behind the picture when you take it off the wall. But she said in the song that there's nothing left behind. I poured out the wine of that special bottle we had saved for some special occasion. I poured it out. I got rid of your coat that was on the wall. That's gone. I got rid of the letters you left behind. And I got rid of that picture on the wall. Everything's gone. If it wasn't for the heartache. Yeah. But isn't that what we do, though? I mean, it's kind of necessary to move on. Where you remove the pictures. You remove a lot of the aspects of it. of the relationship, because there's just something about the associations we make between objects and the person, which just drives it right into the heartache, that those objects were meant to be there with that other person, but that other person left. And as you know, we don't know what happened in this relationship. And you like to feel bad for her because she's sad and she's got a heartache and she's telling the story. So you've got sort of like, it's not that different from the first mover advantage. You know, the first person to tell the story kind of wins you over. I've been around long enough in life, and having been a philosophy major and loving a lot about the way in which the justice system works, where you go before a judge and the judge can hear the first side, but know that first side could be total bullshit, and that the prosecution or the defense, depending on whose turn it is to go next, gets to present their side. I think in a criminal proceeding, the prosecution goes first, states their case, then the defense gets to go. There's an order of events. And judges know, the first side isn't always right. It's just like the customer isn't always right. Sometimes the customer is an absolute jackass and they're 100 and they're absolutely wrong. But in life, in this kind of story here, we don't know who did what and why, but we know she's hurting, and that's very real. And in some cases in life, at some point, regardless of who is at fault in a relationship breakup, we know they happen, and you stop the blame game and you just have compassion for somebody who's in pain. And experience can be a great teacher if somebody allows it, if somebody has a conscience, if somebody wants to change their ways, so that if they were at fault in a relationship breakup, they feel bad enough about it that it drives them low enough to where they don't want to be in that kind of abject pain again. Then they are inspired to make the necessary changes to not be in that pain again, and that benefits other people, especially the next person the guy or the girl is with. So in this, though, I liked her voice a lot, John. Really liked her voice. I love the bass line in this thing too. It wasn't overly complex, but I love how it was more pronounced. It's certainly more prominently featured. That most bass is underneath everything, so you don't even notice it frequently unless you're trying to hear it. This thing was right out in front. And I loved that. I loved the way that worked. It was, to me, more pronounced than the drum was. Though her voice, she had a rasp. She had a very feminine quality to it. She had good timing. So I don't know if she and Clint had a relationship. She's got a cutesy voice too in this song. But just telling a very real story of removing everything, but guess what remains? My humanity is wrecked right now because I've got heartache. So, all right, John, I love being introduced to new artists, and I'm going to rate this song, and the number that popped into my head, this is like maybe the 6th time on the channel this has happened where I've had a split number, and it's come in at an 8.95, which one thing I learned and begged for as a student is that when I was splitting something like that, and I did have that happen once in a business law class where I got I didn't get an outright A. I got an 89.5 average in this class. It was a summer class. And I asked the professor, would you please give me an A? Like, bump me up that half point to give me that 90 for the A. And he was like, no. I wore him down, though, because it was a summer class. It was the final class. He told us what our grades were. And a buddy of his, who was a lawyer, would come into the classroom, was sitting in the back, and he asked a question or two just to bust his friend's chops, who was teaching the class. And those two wanted to go out. They were going to go out to a bar somewhere after this class. It was summertime anyway. It was August, and it wasn't that busy in the legal profession. So I was like, "Come on, man, please." I was the last student in class. I was like, "Please, I wanted that A. Please bump me up to that 90." And he was reluctant to. And then when it was, he really wanted to go with his buddy, and he's like, "You know what, man? I'm not going to bust your balls. I'll do it." And so he bumped me up, and I'm like, "Yes, yes, got the A in that one." And so, and I was shocked that he wasn't going to do it initially, but I'm doing it in this one as well. There's my point. I'm bumping this thing up to a 9.0. It escapes the Montauk Ed Ice Wagon. It's going to go on the playlist of songs of 9 and above. That was refreshing, John. Absolutely refreshing. So you guys will tell me more about Jill, I'm sure. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I don't want to leave you with any more heartache, so it's a 9.0. See you on another video. Keep rocking the country.